In this tutorial, we'll be creating a vector field driven patterns on a polysurface using a plugin you might not be familiar with. So let's jump right into it. First, let's bring our curves from Rhino into Grasshopper. These curves will define the freeform floor plan. Next, I will show you a simple way to generate a roof, no matter how complex the plan is. For this, we need Nautilus plugin. You can install it through Package Manager. Just type Nautilus in the search bar, find it and click Install. Once it is installed, search for the component Curve to Roof Automatic. Plug in your curves and you will notice two additional inputs appear: Angle Roof and Roof Type. I will set angle to 30 degrees, and just like that we generate the roof polysurface. Later we are going to use this polysurface to apply our pattern. Now let's define the tile shape we'll use as the base for our pattern. To keep things simple, I will use a rectangle. The plane is XY, and pick any origin point or leave it by default. X dimension is 0.4 and Y is 0.05. Since I want two different tile sizes, I will add another value for the X dimension. Using Entwine, we separate these values in two branches. You can always adjust or add more variations if needed. And we can convert these rectangles into meshes using simple mesh component. Now we need to find vector field that will control how tiles are oriented. For that, we'll use another Nautilus component called Inverse Distance Weighting Field. It requires points, vectors for each point, and power value. I want this field to be influenced by the roof topology. To achieve that, we'll use medial axis curves together with the roof openings. We already have the medial axis curves, and to get the roof openings, we simply remove the outer boundary from the list of roof curves. We start by sorting the curves by area. The list is sorted in ascending order by default. Then we use cal index to remove items. And since the last item has an index of -1, we input that into indices. Now we merge the medial axis curves and the roof openings into a single list and flatten the output. We need to make sure all curves are on the same plane, so we will project them on the XY plane. Since the field component requires points and vectors, we divide curves. Number of divisions you can choose by yourself, and division points go into points input and the tangents go into vectors input. Power value can range from 0.01 to 100, so try different values and see what works best. If you want to visualize the field, you can use the tensor display component. For the section input, we need rectangular boundary. So we can use the roof outline, place it into a boundary box and plug that in. The samples input controls how dense the visualization is, so the higher values will display more vectors. Now that we have the vector field, we can use it to place our tiles. For that, we'll use one of my favorite components from Nautilus plugin called Worldly and Field. The object's input expects a list of rotated geometries. Instead of using a single orientation, we'll create multiple orientation using a polar array. We rotate our tiles through 300 steps, generating one position for each angle from 0 to 360 degrees, so the count is set to 360. The rotation plane is XY with its origin at the center of each rectangle, which we can extract using face normals. The resulting geometry goes into the object's input. The sheet input defines where the objects will be placed, which in our case is the roof outline. Random placement is set to false, but random object is set to true. So the tile type is selected randomly. You can adjust the seed to get different distributions. Tries goes from 1 to 100 million. In most cases, you'll be okay with 10 million. And division input controls density. Higher values result in denser pattern. Field input is where our field goes. Then triggering the button, we can calculate the result. And let's preview the result using custom preview. By the way, we are organizing a 2-day workshop on the Nautilus plugin. It will be hosted by Laurent Delrier, the creator of the plugin, who will walk you through how it works in depth, cover the most useful components with practical examples, and will build 2 big scripts. You'll also get a 60-day evaluation license for components that are not available in the free version, so you can test everything yourself. You can sign up for the workshop using the first link in the description. Right now, the tiles are placed on a flat surface, but we want to map them onto the roof. To do that, we need to orient them using the source and target planes. First, let's construct source planes. Each plane has its origin at the center of mesh face. To define x-axis, we extract face boundary, explode into the edges, and sort them by length. Since the list is ascending, we need to select the last item using index -1. We convert that edge into vector, and that becomes our x-axis. The y-axis is computed using cross product between this vector and z-axis, giving us a new vector that points perpendicular to both. Alright, we have the source planes, and now we move on to the target planes. We start by projecting the center of each mesh tile onto the roof polysurface. We could use project point to vertically project points on the roof, but this component is computationally expensive, as you can see here, so let's use a faster approach. We create long vertical lines using line SDL, set the direction to Z, and use a large value for the length. Then intersect them with the roof using brep line intersection. The intersection points are then used with brep closed point to extract brep normals. Using these points and normals, we construct planes with plane normal. To align these planes properly, we reuse the vectors from earlier as the guide direction. Now we have both source and target planes, and we can use them to orient the tiles generated by the worldly and field component. Just make sure to graph the geometry so the data structure matches. To keep the geometry lighter, we can flatten the list of meshes and join them into a single mesh. And with that, we get a vector field driven pattern applied directly onto a poly surface. In the extended version of this tutorial, we are going to continue building up our project, and we'll add walls, extrude mesh tiles using only Grasshopper native components, and the best part will be learning how to create ridge roof geometry using a cool trick to offset curves without breaking the geometry. You can find it on our Patreon page, where you will also get the full library of extended tutorials and project files while you're supporting our work. See you in the next one. Bye.